Thanks very much for your time. Some incredible scenes that I think a lot of people have never seen in this part of Sydney yesterday. How's it looking today?
It's looking a lot better today, thank you, Tom. But look, overnight was pretty scary. There are a whole bunch of low-lying areas that, frankly, if you'd asked me this time yesterday, I would have said to you we would have had mass evacuation orders. But somehow we've managed to avoid having to evacuate a lot of those people, and that really goes down to some good luck, but also the tireless work of our professional police, fireys, but all the volunteer emergency services from the SES to Rural Fire Service to Maritime Rescue and even the surf lifesavers who helped with evacuation orders last night.
So in terms of that damage then, the rain came quickly and left quickly. That's flash flooding, I guess. Do you think you're going to need some sort of assistance package like they're getting up north, or is this something that can be handled, the repair bill, without a big one-off package?
Look, I think we'll probably need some money for businesses and some households to get back on their feet. Certainly we don't seem to have copped it as badly as they have on the north coast of New South Wales. But having said that, yeah, there are some people who are going to need help from all levels of government, and we stand ready and able to assist them in helping get back on their feet.
Have you had a chat yet to the Prime Minister about what might be in the offing?
Look, I haven't had a conversation with the Prime Minister yet. I spoke to Josh Frydenberg a couple of days ago before we thought we would need. Back then it looked like we'd have some localised flooding around Narrabeen Lagoon. Josh made it clear that the federal government has always supported people in the aftermath of natural disasters, and nothing's going to change. And I'm sure that's the case in this situation too.
All right, we'll wait to see that updated then. It has just happened. What about this whole situation? As I said, it was a shock seeing some of these roads flood, some of the areas flood that we haven't seen before. Does it give you pause for thought around?
Yeah, Tom, it shouldn't be a shock, to be honest with you. It shouldn't be a shock. I mean, this part of Sydney has been woefully and inadequately serviced with roads for a very long time. We're still waiting for the New South Wales government to commence Beaches Link, which was promised, about 10 years ago. The Carr government, as you will remember, the Labor government under Bob Carr and Christina Keneally sold off the road corridors so that it now has to be a tunnel rather than overland. Wakehurst Parkway has been, and I know you know that road very well, Tom. Wakehurst Parkway has been closed for the last week. They have spent, being the local government in this area, but also with funds provided by the state government, they've spent more money studying the problem and how to fix it than it would cost to actually fix it. I think people up here are thoroughly fed up with the fact that these roads have not been fixed. And at one point yesterday, literally every road in and out of the northern beaches was blocked due to rain and due to flooding. Now, they were exceptional circumstances yesterday, but Wakehurst Parkway is closed regularly throughout the year, and it's one of the major arterial roads that connects the northern part of the northern beaches to the major hospital in this area. And I just don't think it's good enough that we live in a part of the world where that's the case. I mean, the Spit Bridge, when it's not being blocked by Climate 200 protesters or people who support Climate 200, is a drawbridge. You name another part of Australia where the major thoroughfare is literally stopped 2 to 3 times a day so boats can pass through the bridge. It's not good enough, and it's long overdue that these things were fixed.
And it is, well, if it should happen, it is long overdue. I mean, you mentioned the Labor government and the corridor, but it's 11 years since they were in power. Surely your main gripe now has to be with the current Liberal state government.
So my main gripe is with everyone. There's enough griping to go round, to be honest. If it's the local government that said that it would fix Wakehurst Parkway, and it just keeps going out for more and more community consultation, where you'll be surprised to hear the community says we want the road fixed. When it comes to Northern Beaches Tunnel, to be fair to this state Liberal government, they have done a lot of work on that, but I think the time is now well and truly past where contracts should be issued and boring machines should be in the ground, and that project should be underway.
All right, well, there's the call on that. Obviously, a lot of people talking about climate change and these sorts of incidents happening more often. Does it give you pause for thought? I mean, Australia's policy at the moment, the biggest contribution we make is not our own, but exports of coal. And our policy at the moment is whatever coal any other country will buy, we'll sell, including opening up new coal mines. Is that a good policy?
Look, it's a suboptimal policy if you want to know the truth. I mean, we want a position globally where people are using energy that is non-emitting or emits very low levels of carbon, if any at all. But the problem or the challenge that we face as a country is if you want to increase carbon emissions globally, then just take Australian coal out of the coal mix, because it will be, we have very high calorific, low sulphur coal, very black coal. If we stop supplying that into the global supply chain, then what you end up with is very high sulphur, low calorific, which means you need to burn more of it, brown coal from places like Indonesia. My preference would be that people don't build coal-fired power stations anywhere, that we move to a combination of renewable energy, hydrogen, and in other parts of the world, definitely nuclear reactors. I mean, France, Emmanuel Macron, who is often supported by the Labor Party in Australia, he's announced that he'll be building 20 more nuclear power stations in France that will be part of the European energy grid. So Germany can be very pure, and so they're going to close down their nuclear power plants while buying nuclear energy from the French. So it's, I mean, I think we should all start having more honest conversations about this and less politics.
All right.
But yes, I understand what you're saying. I agree with it. Okay. But ironically, it would actually make the situation worse.
Few threads to pick up there. I don't have time today. Perhaps we'll thrash it out with your offside of Patrick.
And without Patrick,
on Monday.
It's not half as much fun either.
Of course. Jason, all the best for your electorate. Thank you.
Thanks.